Hey. Welcome to the Sports Reverends podcast. My name's Dan.
My name's Drew.
We're not experts, but we are
the Sports Reverends.
All right. Let's get into it today. I just wanted to mention about all these career highs happening in the NBA. We got Luka Doncic. He hit 42 points this last couple weeks. He hit him 42 on the Suns. He's had 18 rebounds on the Pelicans. He's had 15 assists with the Cavs this year. He's hit 3 career highs for himself this year. Pretty good. Lillard dropped 60. He dropped 60 this year. Of course, we saw Harden a couple nights ago dropped 60 in 3 quarters. But my favorite career high goes out to my man, Dion Waiters, picking up that 10-game suspension, eating those gummy bears. Finally made his first return back for the Heat. And, of course, he played 0 minutes because, the Heat are playing pretty good now. I wouldn't mess up that chemistry.
Still waiting on Waiters.
All right, Drew. We come today. And I started off excited, but I'm masking my pain right now.
It was a bad day for you.
This Thursday night's been a bad night. Starts with hockey. Winnipeg Jets lose to the Dallas Stars in overtime. Are you kidding me? The Raptors lose their second in a row to James Harden. Oh, well, it's actually Russell Westbrook tonight and the rest of the Rockets. And the Cowboys. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on those Cowboys. We're still number 1 in our division.
Yeah.
But are we bad.
That means Jason Garrett gets to keep his job another week.
And that might be the downfall of our season. Cowboys might be the most talented roster.
Yeah.
I'm talking depth. I'm talking starters. But yet, we, following the lead of Jason Garrett, have dropped so many games, played so terrible, and I'm just sick of it. I'm dying. Drew, just take a minute here. Give me your assessment on what's going on in the Cowboys, NFC East. Well, I need to compose myself.
Well, you have to look at they've had a tough schedule. Just if you want to feel better about it. Their losses they have 2 bad losses. As I look at it. Tonight, obviously a bad loss, and to the Jets was a bad loss. But the rest, you're looking at playoff teams. But you have to beat playoff teams to be a playoff team. And the NFC East in general is just a terrible, terrible division.
But the return of Eli Manning is happening this Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Giants got to pick up a big win. I think that's the only way Cowboys are going to make it through here is if the Eagles just keep losing. So, go Eli.
If you lose to the Dolphins, you can lose to anybody.
That's true. Although, come on, give some respect to Fitzmagic and the boys.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's been good for my fantasy team. I picked up Devontae Parker. It's been a beast.
Yeah, got to give it to him. Their head coach is doing pretty good too, but yeah, I don't know. This NFC East is just an embarrassment. There's no drive there, and I think the Cowboys. Like if I'm Jerry Jones, Jason Garrett's got to be fired tomorrow.
Yeah,
but of course not. He's gonna stick around for another 9 years, and the Cowboys are gonna stay mediocre.
Well, yeah, you need to get the right coach, and I think we see that with all the top teams. They have good young head coaches or legends, So
yeah,
I think they've got some coaches on their radar that if they pick up the phone, they'll get them in the off season.
Well, like football, you see, it's so much of the coach and quarterback relationship. It's like one of the most important pairings in sports, right?
And you can no longer blame Dak for for the downfall of the Cowboys. That used to be people's go-to, is that Dak wasn't a franchise quarterback, but he's proven this year that he is. He's their quarterback of the future, and I'm surprised he hasn't gotten paid yet, but that's coming.
I think he's definitely going to get paid. I don't think he's going to set the bar on just the next man up being paid the highest. I think he's going to be probably paid around what Carson Wentz is paid, but look at the teams that have paid their quarterbacks. Is it working? Look at Carson Wentz. Look at guy from Los Angeles Rams.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Look at how they're in the playoff hunt still, but they're still pedestrian at best. Should we pay him $100 million? I don't know. Do we pay him?
Yeah, you got some other pieces you got to get paid, right?
Got to pay Cooper.
Got to pay Byron Jones, probably.
Probably Byron Jones.
One of those linebackers, Vander Esch or Smith.
Yeah, Vander Esch a couple of years. Smith got paid this year already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the biggest problem is still Jason Garrett. Maybe the biggest problem is Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones needs a coach that won't take too much limelight away from him.
Yeah. Yeah, and the coaches that I've been hearing, he might struggle with that. I've heard Urban Meyer's name floating around there. And,
well, that'd be money.
Yeah, but will Jerry allow Urban Meyer to run the show?
No, he won't.
Or there's the coach from Oklahoma. I keep hearing his name come up too.
Speaking of the NFC East, they're talking about. I heard a debate about Eli Manning and Donovan McNabb. I guess they're both going to be up for Hall of Fame ballots relatively soon. Would you say Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I think you gotta give it to him. How many quarterbacks have won 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
I think you got to give it to him longevity wise. He had the Iron Man streak going there.
For sure. 16 seasons.
He's been a solid quarterback for a long time.
Above average, right?
Yeah, above average. And, he's had the benefit of playing on some really good teams with good defenses.
Yeah.
And, but, 2 Super Bowls against Patriots, and I
one
think
of those Patriots teams might have been the best team of all time.
Right.
That he beat.
The year with Randy Moss. And
yeah.
Yeah, I think you gotta give him credit for what he's done. Been consistent.
His regular season record is, I believe it's 116 wins and 116 losses. So he's probably going to finish out the rest of the season with Daniel Jones being hurt. Does that affect his Hall of Fame?
I think at this point in your career, no. You look at Peyton Manning's last year. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl, but he was a well below average quarterback. You can't take the guy's last year as who he was over his career. He's thrown for over 56,000 yards in his career and 360 some touchdowns, and you look at the playoff success, right?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Peyton Manning's body of work for his whole career is pretty amazing, but comparing to those playoff moments to his brother Eli, Eli's pretty clutch. I'm taking Eli in those final moments over Peyton. Even though Peyton Manning's body of work is big, he has that clutch gene that I don't think Peyton has.
Well, does he have the clutch gene, or does his receivers have the clutch gene? I don't know. There's some pretty spectacular catches that happened in those playoffs. That's
true. The first Super Bowl, I believe he had a really nice pass to Plexico Burress that wasn't that lucky catch in the second one, right?
Yeah, David Tyree.
Yeah, the helmet catch or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm taking Eli in the clutch over Peyton all day. But Peyton's body of work is by far better.
Yeah. And Donovan McNabb, I think, should get into the Hall as well. Like he
Yeah,
was a
I think so too.
great quarterback.
Yeah.
He got to
Both
the Super
seasons.
Bowl. Did he get to the Super Bowl twice?
For sure once.
Yeah. He had the benefit of playing with some great receivers too. He had Terrell Owens there,
Yeah.
but
He has
his
like
body of work was
double the
great as
amount of
well.
touchdowns to interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of
didn't have quite the longevity of some of the quarterbacks that you see,
yeah.
but still, 12 years in the NFL.
It's a great career, yeah. That's I
Yeah,
think another point for Eli too, right? He had a good that Iron Man, like you said, is that's got to be given
yeah,
as a big plus for
just
him.
yeah, being able to play in the NFL every week is something that uh, you can't take for granted because you see even some of these younger quarterbacks like Mahomes has already missed games this year,
Yeah,
and Rodgers has been hurt these last couple of years.
yeah,
These guys that take the ball every single game, and it's something that does give you some bonus marks.
it's true. It's true. Okay, well, we both got Peyton going in. I mean, Eli going in. So Cowboys, they are what they are. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Drew, you made a hot take beginning of this football season.
I
Tell me
did.
about your Bills hot take.
Well, I don't think we said it on air, but we were talking, and maybe I was too shy to take the take, but now I'm gonna roll it back with my Bills. I called them to win the AFC East at the beginning of the year, and I think they're set up in a good position to do it.
They're sitting
This
pretty,
week,
eh?
this week I think is their toughest game. I think they have to win out, but I think this week they got uh, the right week to face the Ravens. The Ravens are coming off 3 or 4 games in a row of big wins, but against teams. Well, I guess yeah, 4 of the last 5. No,
Yeah, take the
5 of the last 6.
Cowboys.
Yeah, you know, and Bills. Uh, I think the Ravens might come out flat this week. I think this is the week that the Bills or the Ravens maybe go off the gas a little bit. I think the Bills have a good chance to take it, and yeah, I think they're going to
So
finish out on top of the AFC East.
the Bills have the Ravens this week. They have
Steelers,
Steelers, Pats,
Patriots, and
Jets.
Jets.
So no, that I think it's going to come down to, yeah, they have to win out. That's a tough schedule to win out, though, man. Steelers are playing good, even with a fourth string quarterback. Mike Tomlin should get Coach of the Year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
He's doing something incredible with backups. Patriots, there's not, you can't just count them out. They have 2 losses on the year. Bills, are they set up to beat the Patriots? Really?
I'm not discounting what the Patriots are, but I think we're underestimating what the Bills have done. I think they have at least the top 3 defense in the league, and Josh Allen has proven to be an above average quarterback. I think.
So you think how far? Okay, how far are the Bills going then if they win the division?
If they
We'll
win
bring
the
the
division,
AFC into this picture. Yeah.
well, if they win their division, I think they're getting a first round bye. They'd probably be second to the
The Ravens.
Ravens, so they'd have to win. Right now, they'd have to beat. Who'd they have to
Patriots.
beat? They'd have to beat the Patriots again.
Yeah.
Um,
They have to win out and beat the yeah, basically win out and they become first.
yeah,
Or first in their division and get
and
the
then they'd
bye.
have to play the Patriots in the playoffs.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that would be tough. It would be in Buffalo if they got the first round bye, which is
Yep.
Buffalo's a tough place to play, but
Be cold.
climate wise, New England's used to that.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, I think. I think
That's not an answer.
that's not an answer. I know. I just don't think the Patriots have the offense. They definitely have it on defense, but I think that's going to be a low-scoring game. Patriots are on their third kicker.
Yeah,
It might come down to special teams, and I think
very true.
the Bills would take it.
So that's just tough, man. That's a hot take. Going against the Patriots at this point, I think the Patriots. I think you're right. That's a great point. Patriots offense is struggling big time right now, but I think they make a move still to add. They add something to their offense.
How
And
can they? There's really nothing out there.
Gronk.
Belichick, no, it's past the point. Gronk can't come back.
Oh, Gronk can't come back.
No, it would have had to have been done last week.
They're gonna bring back AB.
Belichick doesn't want him on the team. Apparently,
Yeah.
Brady went and pleaded for him to stay on the team, and
The man offered up his house
yeah,
with all the alleged stuff against AB. He offered up his house where his wife and child are there. That's how desperate he is to have AB play.
yeah. Well, we've seen the Patriots do it before, though. Edelman can still play out of his mind, but I
That's
think
what
you go.
I'm just saying. Belichick. If Belichick loses a game during the regular season and he sees that team again, either in the playoffs or in the regular season, high percentage he's gonna win that game. I hate this because I hate the Patriots, but they're so good. So this will be by the playoffs. It'll be the third time the Bills will be playing the Patriots.
Yeah, but I think we'll see. I think this week will show us a lot. You got the Patriots going against the Chiefs and the Bills playing the Ravens. I think it'll show you the true colors of both these teams.
Yeah, it's a big week in the NFL. So who's coming out of the AFC?
I think you got to go Ravens at this point. I know I said they're going to lose this week, but I think their running game, they're sort of going reverse trend from everybody else in the NFL, just going power run game. No one seems to have an answer for Lamar Jackson, and Ingram has been running the ball real strong.
Dynamite. Yeah.
Hollywood Brown's been picking it up. They've got three quality tight ends.
Yeah.
I just don't think anyone has a match for them. I think they're getting a lot of credit on their defense based on reputation of the Ravens. I don't think it's as strong as years past. They do have Earl Thomas this year, but those classic run stopping Ravens defense, I don't think that's what this is this year.
Did you watch the Ravens versus 49ers?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think? That
could have been
to a field goal.
That definitely could have been a Super Bowl preview.
Right. They're 3-point favorites because they were at home and they won by 3.
And if it comes down to special teams, Baltimore Ravens have the best kicker maybe in NFL history.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's over 90% from over 50 yards.
Golden leg, man. Golden leg. So, I would go with, in the AFC, I think people are sleeping on the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is heating up once again.
Their defense is just so bad, though.
Their defense is bad, but they are better than last year, which is an improvement, which gives them that chance. I think Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Watkins, they're doing their thing. That they could come out the AFC. I think it's gonna be a good run for sure. I have them or the Patriots. I'm ruling out the Ravens. I'm not on the Ravens bandwagon. I think they're gonna hit the wall, and it's gonna be an abrupt postseason for them. It's my prediction.
Yeah, I got
Lamar Jackson's so young. He's got so much time. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think another team to watch there would probably be the Texans. Deshaun Watson's been really good. Their offensive line is better with the addition of Tunsil.
Yeah.
They got
JJ Watt is supposed to be back for the playoffs, which is ridiculous.
and they've got three really good receivers.
Yeah.
Um,
Fuller, Cootie.
Hopkins,
Yeah.
Stills.
Stills too. Oh yeah, all four. They're four. I like all the receivers.
Yeah.
Car Carlos Hyde is holding his own too, right?
hmm
Um,
And Duke
he's giving them,
Johnson.
yeah, Duke Johnson, and they're both good blocking running backs too.
Yeah, I think the AFC's closer than people think it is. I think people had it as a runaway at the beginning of the year. Said NFC is going to be a lot tighter. Um, I'd like to see who comes out of the NFC West for sure. Like I think that's coming down to the last game of the year, right? Isn't it?
Okay, I'll ask you who's coming out the NFC.
Uh it's hard to bet against. It's hard to bet against Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I like that.
Just with what he's able to do with what he has. And his young receivers are starting to step up here, and he finds tight ends out of nowhere and makes them stars. Like even this Hollister that they found, like all of a sudden he's catching touchdowns.
Yeah, no kidding. I just feel like he has to do so much. He's almost got to be perfect for them to win, and
Well, and they're still
tough.
such a run heavy team, right? Like Chris Carson
Yeah,
still gets 20 rushes a game.
yeah.
And their defense isn't what it was, but they still have Bobby Wagner, which is
He's a
best
beast.
linebacker in football. Like,
Absolutely.
so yeah, I wouldn't bet against Russell Wilson. You also have to look at the Saints with Breeze back. They're just
Yeah, I was gonna say the Saints because
yeah,
they're top to bottom. They're they're probably the next most talented team. I would say roster wise, next to Dallas, which is crazy.
right.
Um, but the Saints defense is so good. Their offense is deadly. They're starting to click again.
Yeah, you have to give 49ers credit for what they've done, but I don't trust Garoppolo in big games. I know they're
I
a
like
run
that.
heavy team,
hmm
but
The addition of Sanders has been huge, but
in the playoffs you need your quarterback to be a star, and
yeah.
I don't think he's proven that
But their
yet.
defense is so good, right? The
Yeah,
49ers D is so
these offenses in the NFC, like these offenses can overpower good defenses in the playoffs. I think, top to bottom, like the Saints, Michael Thomas, like
it's
Michael
ridiculous.
Thomas against Richard Sherman. I think you give it to Michael Thomas still. Like
Yeah.
as good as Sherman has been, he's
hmm
sort of had a resurgence here with the
Yeah.
49ers, but I think you match him up with Michael Thomas, you match him up with Devontae Adams, Diggs, even like I think once you get to the playoffs, all you're facing are top offenses in the NFC,
Yeah. No weaknesses really.
except for the NFC East.
Yeah, except the NFC East. Enough, Drew. All right.
All
I'm
right.
sulking enough.
Yeah.
The Saints, if the Saints can get home field, they're deadly at home. So
Yeah.
if they can get that home field, that's gonna be tough going forward for the rest of the league. All right, Drew, you ready to jump into some NBA?
All right.
We're gonna talk some MVP basketball players in the NBA. All
Love
right.
it.
You and I have narrowed the top four pretty much. I think everyone
Yeah,
has
it's
a
pretty
top four.
pretty obvious. Yeah.
Giannis, LBJ, Luca, Harden. Who's your way too early 2019-2020 NBA MVP? Regular season MVP.
Well, I'd love to see Luka Doncic win the MVP. He's game in, game out, best player on the floor most nights. Like I know he had a down game yesterday, but overall, I just think he's sort of I think he sort of reminds me of a LeBron James.
Yeah, that game against LeBron was something else.
Yeah,
He kind of hit that step back three that kind of looked like how LeBron shoots it, right in
yeah.
LeBron's face.
Like him and LeBron are sort of redefining the point guard position on
Yeah,
their own. Like you match him up against any point guard who's going to be able to stop that. Like they're like freight trains coming down the middle.
yeah.
So
Luka's kind
strong.
of a mix of LeBron and James Harden, right? Like obviously he doesn't
Yeah,
have LeBron's athleticism, but he has that Harden's finesse,
yeah.
which is like
Better
pretty
shooting
incredible.
touch for sure.
Yeah, that step back three in LeBron's face. It was kind of like that Iverson crossing up Jordan moment, or even Kobe fading on Jordan that All-Star game. It
Yeah.
was just like that was something special. It's like the next guy coming up, which is pretty crazy.
But even if he doesn't win this year, he's definitely got some in his future. Like this
Yeah,
guy's what, 20 years old?
20.
Yeah, he came in as a 19-year-old. Just I think he's for the next 10, 15 years going to be one of the faces of the league.
Oh yeah, he's playing professional basketball since like what 15 years old,
Yeah.
and now he's taking the NBA. He's something
How do
amazing.
the Hawks feel with this trade?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they didn't
But
get him.
Trey
They
Young's
don't
been
get.
good, but
Yeah, he's not chopped liver. That's for sure. He's just different, right? He's just
yeah,
different. But Luka has the Mavericks in the playoffs right now, in the playoff position, with a pedestrian Kristaps Porzingis, right? Kristaps is gonna get better,
yeah,
so their future is bright, real
yeah,
bright.
for
But,
sure. I like
but
the Dallas makeup.
for sure. So you're saying not Luka? So who are you saying?
I think you got to give it to LeBron at this point.
Oof.
Best
Okay.
record, tied for the best record in the league. Yeah, he's doing it all. I
He
think
he said
he's
he
having
wants
one of
his
his best
throne
years,
back. His words.
averaging almost 11 assists a night. Like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 17th year in the league. It's ridiculous.
yeah. So
Okay, you got
that'd be my
LeBron there.
pick. Yeah,
I'm gonna. So your heart went out to Luca, but you chose LeBron. My heart goes out to Harden. Harden is averaging basically 40 points a game. He is like probably one of the most prolific scorers of all time.
yeah.
But yet he's yeah,
Stephen A. just called him best scorer of the generation.
of the generation. Wow,
Yeah,
that's quite the compliment. Um, and that I you can definitely argue that. He has an art of drawing fouls, right? It's an art, but
yeah,
he's not going to win because you know I don't think his team is going to finish with the top record. I think they're
yeah.
going to play the factor of how many wins will add to that MVP selection, which is why I'm going to give it to Giannis, who has gotten better from last year, which is pretty crazy. He's hitting 3-pointers now from right from the top of the 3-point line, not the sides, not the corners. He's horrible from the corners, but from the top, he's hitting a couple a game, and points per game are up, rebounds, steals, assists. He's
Yeah.
getting better, which is scary, and his shot's getting developed.
56 from the field, 56%.
That's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and I think at the end of the day, Bucks have such a they're in the East, right? So much
Yeah.
easier than the West. So just
And
like
with
that, they're gonna finish with a better record.
the point that you brought up beforehand, like the guys that he's lost and still
Yeah,
putting up these numbers, like Brogdon's having a great year in Indiana,
yeah, he's playing amazing.
but none of these players are stars. Like Bledsoe's good, Middleton's good, but none of them most of these teams that we're talking about have a 1-2 punch. I think it's just Giannis there.
Yeah, I agree. Middleton even was out for a bunch of games, and they're still stringing off wins. And
Yeah.
yeah, they're looking good going forward. Okay, so
And
I
I
got
think,
Giannis.
yeah,
You got go ahead.
no, that's good. I like it.
Yeah,
Giannis.
I got Giannis. You got LBJ. We'll see. Is Spicy P, Pascal Siakam, is he a top MVP caliber potential? Obviously, he's not
Potentially.
number one. Obviously, he's not like gonna win MVP.
No, but I think what he's doing, like where the Raptors are sitting now, losing Kawhi, um, I think him and Freddie, like
Daddy Freddy.
they've been so good. He's stepped up. He's proven he can be a number one.
Hmm.
Um, I think he's moving in that direction. Still super young too. Like
That's true.
what is it, 20, 24, 25?
Yeah, 24, I think.
I think he's
Fourth
moving.
year in the league.
He's definitely getting better. Like you said, you almost joked he could win the most improved again.
Yeah, his
Uh,
stats are what he jumped from year 2 to 3 is the same jump right now from 3 to 4. So
yeah, he's definitely moving in that direction. Possibility in the future. Not there yet, but I'd say he's cracking the top 10
yeah, I
of
like that. I'd say that
MVP.
for sure. I think by the end of the year, my prediction is that he'll be in the conversation. Maybe not, maybe just outside the top 5, but at his peak, it'll be the top 5, like
Yeah,
5th,
yeah.
uh,
We should
depending on
probably
how.
apologize. We should probably apologize to Mark Poirier for talking for about the Raptors for so long, though.
Mark Poirier just doesn't like Canada's team. Well,
Yeah,
that's just how it goes.
that's how it goes.
Okay, Drew, big debate here. Who runs who runs LA right now? Clippers, Lakers.
Yeah, it's tough. Like the Lakers have the better record. Clippers
Yep,
have the better home record, though. Um,
by one.
by one. Yeah, they played more games at
True.
home. Um, I just don't think you can dethrone the Lakers. Like I'd love to say the Clippers because I don't like the Lakers, and then I'm not a huge LeBron fan, even though I just picked him for MVP. But I think it's still the Lakers. Like the purple and gold, you're just not gonna. I don't think you can really dethrone that.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be a Lakers town until the Clippers win 17 championships and the Lakers don't win
Yeah,
anymore. Um, but I meant in the terms of who's coming out of the West.
like
LeBron, Lakers, Clippers, and Kawhi.
I think coming out of the West, like you mean playoffs wise, or just like number one seed in the West.
No, I'm saying playoffs because obviously the Clippers don't care about the regular season.
Yeah, that yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think the Clippers still come out of the West. I think they'll be more
Whew.
rested.
Okay.
Well, like look at it. Like the Clippers can win games without Paul George and Kawhi. I think they could still like they proved it. They were a playoff team last year without those two.
It's true.
You take AD and LeBron off the Lakers, and they're a
They're
bottom
nothing.
team,
Yeah.
right? So I think the Lakers will be more tired getting towards the end of the year because they have to play, and they have to play 35 minutes a game, 35, 40 minutes a game. I think the Clippers will be in a better position to win, even if they don't have the first seed. Um, yeah, I think the depth that the Clippers have, like I'd take the Clippers second group over some of these starters that we see in the West still. Like I think the guys they have coming off the bench with Lou Williams and Montrezl
Yeah.
Harrell, it's just that's a
Pretty
great second
deadly.
group.
I love Mo Harkless too. He's a
Yeah,
good pickup. Yeah, the Clippers are good, man. Can't knock them off.
Patrick Beverley's been playing great this year too.
To me, it seems like when we first started talking about this season, I thought that it was going to be a little bit more competitive in the sense that there's not going to be one or two teams that are going to dominate the West. I thought Denver, I thought even Utah, Portland,
Yeah,
there'd
I
be
had Utah way higher than what they're looking like.
Utah's had a tough stretch as of late. I think they'll put it together and be a tough. They'll be a tough out in the playoffs, but they're not. They might
Yeah,
make it to the second round.
Gobert was out for a while there too.
Yeah, but to me, it just seems like the Lakers and Clippers are definitely a cut above the rest.
Right.
Then I think there's Houston right below that. And then I think the rest of those playoff teams that we talk about are below the Houston.
Yeah.
But to me, when it comes to playoff time, like, how do you stop Anthony Davis? How are the Clippers going to stop Anthony Davis? They did game 1 of the year, but we'll see. We'll see going forward. The chemistry that the Lakers have going forward. Their Rondo's, making a resurgence. Kyle Kuzma's finding his own. Avery Bradley's making an impact, right? He's kind of their Pat Bev.
He's out though, isn't he? Is he hurt?
No. Oh yeah, Avery Bradley. No, is he hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
They're
he'll be back.
running with Caldwell Pope and
Caldwell
Danny
Pope's a
Green.
joke. Yeah, Danny Green's played good as we would know, but Avery Bradley will be back. He'll be good. The Clippers, yeah, they're right there. It's just I don't know. I don't see.
I
think
don't
the X
see
factor is
Anthony Davis.
Davis.
Yeah, I definitely think he's an unstoppable player, but you look at his status for every game; it's game time decision. Like he's hurt all the time.
True.
And you can't guarantee me. I know you can say the same thing about Kawhi, but Kawhi is preparing
Even
himself.
PG too.
Right, but they're preparing them. I think they're preparing themselves for the stretch run. And you can say Anthony Davis is doing that, but we've seen this in his career over time. Like you might not be able to count on him even being there.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I'm watching Kawhi and I'm watching Paul George, and like Kawhi looks like he's like some games he's looking okay, but some games like I think last game, whoever they played, he put up like 13 points. He looked like a grandpa out there. He could barely walk. So I don't know what's going on with him either. So they're gonna have like how much load management can you really do?
Right.
Will it work? So we'll see. I guess.
We'll see.
So you got you got the Clippers coming out. I'm probably gonna stick with the Lakers. I think the combo of Anthony Davis and LeBron is that's too tough to beat at this point. That's who I got. Okay, do you have any shout outs for most improved players this year? And do you have a shout out and a pick?
Well,
or if your pick is your shout out, whatever you want.
Yeah, I think it's a guy that not many people think about unless you're playing fantasy basketball. But Devontae Graham from the Charlotte Hornets,
amazing,
just coming out of nowhere. Last year, hardly played at all. Averaged 5 points a game. This year, he's averaging 19, shooting 41% from the field, 33 minutes a night.
Yeah,
almost 8 assists, 4 rebounds. I think he's definitely my pick for most improved player.
He's your pick. Okay.
He's my pick and my shout out because not many people follow the Charlotte Hornets, and I don't blame them. But
it's fair.
He's
been
doing
actually
game in,
pretty
game
fun
out
to watch. They've been like a competitive. Their roster is so bad, but they're playing hard and competitive. Like unlike the New York Knicks, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they play a fast paced game. Terry Rozier. Yeah, it's been good.
I like it. Okay, that's a great pick. My most improved player, I thought this is already like set in stone. I just assumed that you would also choose Brandon Ingram, who's just murdering it right now. But I guess if you look at the numbers comparatively, Devontae Graham's taken actually a bigger leap. Brandon Ingram, just to me, is just playing lights out. He looks like KD 2.0. He's looking nice. He's finally living up to that. He's now that he's not under the bright lights of LA, he's playing really well. He's my pick. My shout out goes out to a guy that I really actually don't like, is Kelly Oubre Jr. I didn't like him because the Raptors and Wizards rivalry that was there back in the day. Oubre always, he was a loudmouth, and I didn't think he earned the respect to chirp as much as he did. But now in the Suns, whatever he's doing, he's it's a little unfair because when they look at most improved player, they're gonna look at his like I think he had, I don't know how many games he had with the Suns last year. I think he had 30, maybe in 40 games with the Suns last year. But before his entrance into the Suns, he was basically a role, like barely even a role player. Now he could be a starter on some teams. He's more than a 3-and-D kind of guy, and he's played really good. So that's my shout out to Kelly Oubre Jr., who's probably in the conversation for most improved.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I won't tear apart your pick too much, but it's a dumb.
You don't
pick.
like Brandon Ingram?
No, the Kelly Oubre shout out, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, it does. If you look at him,
look at the stats from last year.
Okay, that's what I just said. You have to look at it before.
Look at the stats from 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's bad.
You're looking at a 4 point a game.
But it's not just points. Look at the rest of the body of work.
I am.
Okay.
4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
Steals?
1, less than 1.
Still 1.
It's 0.5.
Okay, Drew. Fine. Rip about Kelly Oubre Jr. I don't even care because I don't like him. I just thought he's playing well. Drew?
Yep.
Shed your light on some of the challenges of that have been incorporated into the NFL and into the NBA. Now, I'm not
that's
talking
just so frustrating.
Not talking about your challenges as a pastor, because pastors don't get any challenges in their lives.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm saying, tell me a little bit about the rule changes and the rule additions of the challenges in the NBA and the NFL and why they're frustrating.
Well, I don't watch as much basketball as you, but I know in the NFL, these challenge flags for pass interference is just getting ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
they have to come out with a statement saying what is and what isn't pass interference, because they're basically just siding with the ref on all these things. And I think it's the same. I saw the James Harden play from, was it last night or 2 nights ago?
The phantom dunk.
The ball clearly goes through the hoop. Like, there's just no doubt about it. And yeah, I just don't get it.
They didn't even review it. I don't understand. They don't review it.
Yeah, is it not a review? Like, I don't get how that's not a reviewable play.
I think what one of the, I guess, the referee's explanations is because it passed. I guess there's a 30-second time limit of asking for a review, and because they were complaining longer than 30 seconds before the review was officially asked for, apparently that was the case. But then players and coaches have said that they asked for reviews, yada, yada, yada. They're actually petitioning to have the last 7 minutes and a half replayed of that game.
Well, because they were up at that point, right? They were up by a few points.
They're by 13. And that would have been 15 points. And then they blew the lead, and they went to overtime, and then they lost. They went to double overtime. So it's pretty crazy. Yes, the NFL's has been ridiculous. I don't know. They've outright said basically the pass interference challenges are, I don't know why they're even there. They're going to try not to overturn them unless it's egregious, just because of that play in the Rams Saints playoff game last year. The NBA's, it's just, there's so many like little rules like that, like the 30-second thing that doesn't make any sense. Why don't they just, I think the idea is for it to not be an elongated timeout, so that there's a timeout, then they ask for a review, and then it takes like 6-7 minutes altogether of breakage. And
well, I think the breakdown happens when, like, this is what I've always thought, even when baseball was the first, I think, to introduce replay for kind of stuff, for this tags on the bases and stuff. And I think the problem is that the people who are reviewing it know what the call was on the field or on the court. I think the people who do reviews should get it, and you should just ask them, is this out or safe? Is this pass interference, or is this not pass interference? I think the fact that they know what it is, they're going to side closer with that. I think it would be more I think they would be more inclined to make changes if we just took a play. I don't even know how you do this, but you take the play, have a replay official who doesn't know what the call was, and ask him, "What do you think this is? This a pass interference or not?"
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
know
be
how
good.
you enforce that, but I think you
Well,
have to do that.
the way the NBA does it is that they do know what the call is, but they do send it to New York, and the people in New York decide. So
Right.
they could take away the what the actual call is on the floor and let them just decide.
Right. I think that's the way you should do it, because when you tell officials are going to side with officials, obviously, and
Yeah,
I would too. Like, you don't want to be embarrassed as an official, umpire, whatever.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that I just think it's ridiculous. I always thought that there's been some egregiously bad calls because of it.
yeah. I don't know how you can change it in the NFL and in the MLB to save time, but in the NBA they already do it where, let's say a 3-pointer is, they're gonna review it, but it could be 2-3 minutes until they make the change because they let the play go on and they just go
Right.
back and see if it's a 2 or a 3. Why couldn't they do that with like a call like this dunk that clearly happened, and if they don't want to waste so much time, just okay, go back and actually review it. Just do the little finger wave and review it during a timeout the next timeout, and you'll clearly see that it was a dunk. Like, it would have solved all the problems right there.
Yeah.
At the 2 points, save
Right.
time. So I don't know. I don't know. These. Do you think the challenge play lasts in the NBA longer than this year?
I think it lasts. I think they're gonna have to make some tweaks to it, just
Yeah.
like all the other replays have made some changes, but it can't stay the way it is.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of problems. The ref, the whoever implemented the rule did say that this is a trial year for this year. They started in the G League last year, and this year was still going to be another work in progress kind of year with it. So we'll see what changes. There definitely needs to be changes made for it going forward, and it's getting really annoying at every play that a player thinks a play went the wrong way, that they're saying review it, review it.
Yeah.
Getting on my nerves.
They should start reviewing traveling.
Yeah, that too. Oh my goodness. Like, it's clearly 3 steps is the minimum for a layup nowadays.
Yeah.
It's 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 just ridiculous. I don't know. Drew, tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life as a reverend sports guy.
Well,
What's going
this weekend I'm heading out to camp to lead some worship at a retreat. Looking forward to it with Youth for Christ. It's a
on?
great
Nice.
organization helping out youth in our little city of Selkirk, and yeah,
You
loving
and
to see.
Demelza?
Yeah, me and my wife, and we're just excited about seeing the impact on kids' lives. I'm still coaching my midget AA hockey team. Just got my new winter jacket with my nice little Rebels logo on it. I'm excited about that. Yeah,
Big time.
yeah,
Does it
it's
say
just
coach on the
exciting.
side?
No, it doesn't. But
Oh, nice.
everyone knows I'm the coach.
That's right.
What's going on with
Cool,
you?
man. Oh man, this weekend is a busy weekend. We have our community Christmas dinner in downtown Toronto, where both of our church campuses are invited our communities to join us, and I think we're expecting about like 200 to 250 people to show up in this ballroom, and we'll have a big dinner together. Um, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have the bunch of the kids and youth come up for a Christmas song, and there's gonna be other carols and a big turkey dinner. We're cooking about, I don't know how many turkeys, but a lot of turkeys we're cooking, and the rest of it's potluck style, so it should be pretty good.
Nice.
Potluck style in Toronto is fun because you get so many different like nations, like nationalities of food, right? So
Yeah.
should be
What are you making?
I'm making a turkey.
Okay.
So I get if I was gonna bring Malaysian food, I would buy it because I can't cook that kind of stuff, and
Right.
definitely neither can Liana. So
Yeah. Well, you
that's
got to call
what's
Mama Shanran.
I'm a Chandran, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, Drew, this has been fun.
It has been. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Hopefully, to all our to all our listeners out there, hopefully that we're gonna continue on and being a little more, putting out more content going forward, and
good luck to everyone in their fantasy playoffs this week.
Yes,
I get the first week bye, so I don't have to worry about it. But
yes, he's gonna be like the Baltimore Ravens. That's my prediction. Get the bye and have an abrupt ending to his fantasy league. Fantasy playoffs, NFL playoffs always sneak up on me.
Yeah.
So they make sure you set your lineups. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even realize I went to set my lineup today, and I realized I was on a bye. So that was good.
There you go.
All right.
All right, buddy. Peace out, my friend.